All right. Imagine selling more without ever feeling pushy. Today, we'll uncover the principles of seamless sales that integrate effortlessly into your creative process. So, we'll discuss how to make selling a part of your everyday routine, enhancing your interactions with customers, and making each transaction feel completely natural. Watch and learn how to make sales an extension of your creative expression. So stay tuned and don't miss out. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Business with Ritz, where we humanize entrepreneurship. We aim to showcase the human behind the title before the offer. I am Ritzel Loredo-Rectra, and today we're unraveling the secrets of non-pushy sales technique. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm thrilled to introduce a remarkable mind in the world of creative entrepreneurship, Elle Butler. All right, with over 4 decades of experience across diverse industries, Elle has dedicated herself to empowering artists and creators to sell with soul, not sales pitches. All right, today she's here to share her wisdom on how to sell more while staying true to your artistic integrity. Here we go. And let's welcome Elle Butler. Let me put her on stage. All
Oh,
right.
thank you so much.
All right. It's an honor to have you in the show, Elle.
It's an
Um,
absolute delight to be here. Thank you so much, Ritzel.
all right. Now, where are you located right now? I can sense from your accent. You're
Uh,
somewhere. Yeah.
I am coming to you from Queensland, Australia, in a little town called Mackay.
Mackay. Oh, right. So we're having some freaky weather here right now here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where I am. It's too hot in the
Hmm.
morning till the mid of afternoon. Then it'll rain cats and dogs in the afternoon. So how's the weather down there?
Oh, we have absolutely picturesque weather, a little chill, but
Uh,
absolutely stunning blue skies, gorgeous temperatures. Love to get out and walk the dog. It's just absolutely sensational here.
wow. What a nice weather you have. Now let's get to know the person behind the title. Are you ready, Elle?
I think so.
Okay, here we go. Let me flash the segment title. All right, welcome back, everyone. Joining us today on Talking Business with Ritz is a visionary who's redefining how creatives interact with the market. Now, for running a successful digital marketing from coaching artists on non-salesy selling techniques, else brings a treasure trove of insight on making sales seamless and natural. So, Elle, we're so excited to learn from you today. So let's start with the first question. Let me change
Sure.
the angle. All right, here we go. Now, who is Elle Butler as a person?
Yeah. As you mentioned, a diverse background. I was actually a teacher by profession and then ran a number of businesses, both physical businesses and digital businesses. One of the key ones in there was real estate. And I like to say I never sold a house when I was in real estate, but lots of people bought them from me. And that's where my love of selling without needing to sell really became the key. Yeah, and then had a little bit of a break, came back. I've got my children's book series in the process and realised that, yeah, the artistic creators really could benefit from that non-salesy selling.
Right. Interesting. Now, could you briefly let us know how did your path begin as a business coach to creatives?
it was just, I guess, the next logical step. I had this wealth of background and experience, and obviously being a teacher gave me the tools to be able to share my experience with people.
Mm-hmm.
The digital marketing world is just crazy, and having had a bit of a break, so much changed while I was having a break, and I just didn't want to have to go back into that so much myself. But being able to really help creatives really, really empowers me to empower them.
Right. It's intriguing to learn what shapes our experts. All right. Now, follow up question. Could you describe a key experience that transformed your business approach and any lesson learned?
Mm. Um, ooh, a key learning, I guess my learning is more a series of events and a series of experiences that all build upon each other rather
Mm-hmm.
than just one particular standout event. But certainly when my parents had a traffic accident, and they're doing fine now, but at the time I needed to basically stay with them for about 15 months straight, about 5 hours from where I live. I basically moved to their place, and
Mm-hmm.
it meant that I really needed to reassess what was important. So that was a key, that was the key, I guess, turning point for when I closed my digital business. And then now that they are doing well, I'm starting to, or I am back into it, I guess, and realizing that what I really wanted to do was follow my own creative passions, but
Mm-hmm.
also help others in this at the same time.
Right. That's interesting. Now, thank you for sharing that one. All right. Now it's time for our lightning round of questions. Are you ready, Elle?
I've got no idea, but sure.
All right. Short and sweet. What is your favorite word and why?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious,
Oh my God. Okay. Why?
because just when you say that, it just brings up obviously Mary Poppins, but also the fact that the whole essence of it is anything is possible.
Right. Morning ritual.
Open my eyes and two
Mm-hmm.
coffees.
2 copies. All right.
Then I'm right.
All right. Cats or dogs?
I've got both. My dog's here beside me, and my cats are back at home.
All right. Favorite book that impacted your career?
Mm. The Trixie Belden series.
Right. Okay. Are you a Mac person or PC person?
PC.
PC. All right. Early bird or night owl?
Mm. I can be both.
Oh,
When I
very
was
flexible.
yeah, when I was in teaching, I was very much a early bird. I'd be up, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I can still do that if need be. If I need to get up, like tomorrow morning, my day actually starts at 2 a.m. Not
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow morning, the next day. But
Mm-hmm.
right now it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm
Yeah.
still fine. So I can be
Oh,
both.
all right. Now, what hobby do you enjoy outside of work?
Camping. I
Camping.
absolutely love to get away camping.
Nice. Best business advice you've ever received?
Delegate. My business mentor, I asked him what was the key piece of advice, and he said, delegate. And when I need to, that's what I do.
All right. So, in 3 words, how would your friends describe you?
Fun, bright, bit crazy.
I'm crazy. All right. Okay, last question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Hang in there, and this too will pass. Doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, this too will pass.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Elle, for those
Thank
insightful
you.
answers. All right.
Thanks, Ritzel.
Nice. All right, to our viewers, if you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And for everyone joining us live, keep sending in those questions for our Q&A session. Having set the
Please.
stage, all right, having set the stage with those enriching discussion, let's shift gears and focus on the next segment. All right, let's dive right in. All right, welcome back, amazing fan bams, to Learn from the Expert segment. Now that we've learned more about Elle Butler and her valuable experiences, let's dive deeper into her insights. We'll be discussing three topics that our expert guest had graciously prepared for us. So let's pivot to the next, to the fundamental aspects of business. Here we go. Business growth, attracting your ideal buyer effortlessly. So, Al, could you share your top strategy, okay, for artists to attract their ideal buyers without feeling pushy?
Yeah, it can be a balancing act to be
Mm-hmm.
able to do that. But it's important that to keep in mind, and I think this is really the key. If you keep this in mind, everything else will fall into place naturally. And that is that you're not trying to sell anything to them. You are just trying to help them to buy. Because if they're standing in front of you, 95% of the time, they want to buy from you. But you need to just make it easier. So don't think of them as scary. Don't think of them as buyers. Just think of them as a friend, a person, have a conversation with them. Ask them what they think, what they like. So keeping in mind that they want to buy from you, that you're not trying to sell, because ultimately you will sell. It might be to them or it might be to somebody else, but ultimately you're going to sell. But if somebody's there with you, they want to buy. So let them be the one to help them. Ask questions about what it is that they like. So if it's an artwork, what draws them to one piece over another? What, where are they likely to want to hang it? What's their decor like if that's the case? Is it going to go in a big room, small room? If it's a book, what genre are they after? And that would be the same with music. So just keeping in mind, just drawing out, finding the right match to allow them to buy from you.
Right. And it transcends actually your technique. This the one that you just talked about, right? It transcends to any kind of products that you have. Be it a
Absolutely.
coaching, yeah, be it a coaching, a digital product or whatever. All
Yeah,
right. Now,
100%. Mm.
all right. Now, what's one common mistake creatives make when trying to attract buyers and how can they avoid it?
Mm. And it's not just creatives, they don't ask for the sale. And that's just the simple thing. People will say no if they're not ready. But, hey, can I package that up for you? How did you want to pay for that? Not do you want to pay for it, but how would you like to pay for that?
Oh, all right.
So make the assumption that they're going to buy it. How would you like to pay for it? Credit card, here we go. Or how would you like to pay for it? Oh, no, 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 I'm not buying. That's fine. But allow them, just give the person the option of being able to say, here's my credit card, rather than them having to come up and go, but I want to buy this now, help them make that decision.
So it's the wording that matters. Instead of asking, "Do you want to buy?" Is
Mm-hmm.
you, how do you want to pay for it? Right? It's like it's a more positive one towards you as the one providing the service.
Exactly. It's
Makes
always
sense.
about communication. Any interaction with human beings is about communication.
Right. Okay, now what role does customer interaction play in attracting buyers effortlessly, and how can creatives optimize this aspect?
Getting in front of them, and it does depend on what type of creative. Are you an author? Are you an artist? Are you a musician? But ultimately, you need to be where your buyers are. And I used to say you wouldn't go to a football game to try and sell a puppy, because the
Uh,
people that are at a football game are not there to buy puppies. You would go to a pet store if if you wanted to sell a puppy.
mm,
So first of all, you need to be where your customers are. Um, if you're on books, you've got to be in the bookstore. You've got to be in Kindle or Amazon. You've got to be in the physical bookstores, Booktopia, whatever works for you, where people would normally go to
mhm.
want your style of art, of creative. Once you're there, then make it easy for them to find you. Now, that
Mhm.
doesn't necessarily mean big splashy banners, but make sure if it's on the digital world, it's searching by keywords. So if they're into horrors and mysteries, make sure they're in your keywords. My series is on Australian animals. I make sure that Australian animals is in my keywords and in my
Ah,
descriptions. So making sure that when a buyer is looking to buy, that they can find yours if that's what they're looking for. So make sure it's very, very clear. So that's really important. And it doesn't matter whether it's online or in a physical bookstore or a physical music store or at a concert, just making sure that what they are looking for matches
mhm.
what you've described your product as.
Interesting. Now, those were fantastic information, Elle. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
All right, now transitioning from attracting buyers to closing sales. So let's discuss how to make this process as smooth as possible. So here's our second topic. All right, same seamless sales, close without asking. So Elle, can you start by explaining what it means to close a sale without actually directly asking for it? Now, how does this approach benefit creatives? So it's like mind-boggling.
Yeah, and this is why it's so important for creatives to, because they don't want to say, I want you to buy my product,
Hmm, hmm,
because it's very personal. It's very emotional for them. They've got that emotional connection. So that's why creatives sort of do find that a little bit tougher. You do have to do some asking, and we touched on it earlier in the phrasing of the question.
mhm.
So not, hey, do you want to buy my whatever it is, but how would you like to pay? So make the assumption and help them. So rather than asking, do they want to, help them along their journey of purchasing.
Right. So it's like giving them a choice, right?
Giving them a choice where it's you can purchase this or you can purchase this. Which do you want?
All right. Now, building on that, what are key strategies creatives can use to make their sales process seamless and intuitive?
Yeah, look, if we're there's so much selling of creative work through digital platforms,
Mm,
you really need to make sure that your digital process is set up properly. Make sure that you've got that balance between how well you follow up with people if they're still looking at this stage, how you keep in touch without being the, oh, I don't want any more emails because they're getting too many. So
mhm.
I always try and work on um, touching base about every, in the early stages, 3 to 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
The higher the purchase price, I think the less frequency. So you might push that out to sort of a week or so. But also how long it goes for. You don't want to still be following up if somebody's just decided that's not for them. That's okay, but you don't want to still be bashing your head against a brick wall down the track. So
Mm-hmm.
making sure that follow-up system is well managed for your particular artwork, your particular creative, and make sure that you're using the right language. Again, helping them to make a purchase rather than trying to sell. Hey, and I've got this, and did you want steak knives with that? And yeah, no, just back off. If they want it, allow them to purchase. Is this right for you, or are you thinking about it further down the track? When would you like me to reach out to you?
Mm.
Is a really important thing. Would you like me to give you a call tomorrow or next week? Asking your prospective buyer when they'd like you to follow up. If they're not ready right now,
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. They probably still want to buy, but it's down the track. Ask them when they want you to follow up, but do that. If they say, yeah, tomorrow or next week, make sure that you do, whether that's email or phone call or text
Mm-hmm.
message,
Mm-hmm.
but do follow through because they'll be expecting it. You can probably remember a time when you've, requested some information when you've been maybe searching for renovations for a kitchen and bathroom or a lounge suite or something, and you sent off a message and said, hey, I just need some information about that red one. Can you, give me a call? And you're waiting and waiting and waiting
And
and
you never
waiting
hear.
and nothing comes. You're waiting. So understand that if you've had that conversation with them, they're waiting for your call. They're not going to be upset that you've called. They're going to be thrilled to hear from you. So remember that, keeping that mindset in place, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that they are wanting to hear from you. You're not imposing on them. That's a really important part of the sales process.
All right. I heard this some time ago when they said the money is in the follow up.
It can be. I think digital marketing has come a long way from being that very, very scripted, just, swap out the words and swap out the product.
Yeah.
That really did lead in the follow-up. But when we're talking about the creative process, it's an emotional, tangible, there is an emotional connection. So people are in that emotion. So most of them are ready to buy the minute they're talking to you. If they don't, there's a percentage that will buy in the future, but you don't know yet who they are. So if you don't follow up, there's sales that you won't get. The other thing is if they've bought from you once, chances are they'll buy from you again. If they've
Yes.
bought your book, they will probably buy the next one. If they've bought a piece of artwork from you, it's because they love your style, they'll probably buy another. If they've bought one of your songs, they'll probably buy another one, the next one. So keeping in touch without being a pest, that follow-up can generate additional sales.
Right. All right. That makes sense. Now, finally, Elle, could you share an example of how one of your strategies was successfully implemented by a creatives, resulting in seamless sale?
Sure. I have a friend who does lovely porcelain work,
Mm-hmm.
and she was hesitant because she didn't think that the people that were in front of her or that she was reaching. So it's in the earlier days of digital marketing. She didn't think that they could really afford her work, and her work was absolutely stunning, beautiful gold work on it. So first of all, we made sure that her work was being shown to a higher income uh, audience, So we actually did some research on the demographics of who we were getting in front of, and we deliberately sought to be there. We
Mhm.
shared without trying to buy or without trying to sell. We just shared and said, hey, look at this beautiful artwork. This is what we've been working on lately. We've got another one with a bit of teaser. We've got another one coming up that's similar. This one's sold to somebody else, but we've got another one. Do you know anybody who might be interested? And that's a nice way to get in, as a lead in. And it doesn't matter what you're selling. It's a really nice way to say, do you know someone who might be interested? It
Mhm.
worked when I was doing selling houses. It works with the coursework. It works with the artwork. Do you know someone? And a lot of the time, they'll go, "Yeah, me." Oh, okay. Well, let me help you. And that definitely worked. And of course, once she'd sold to one um, person in that higher income bracket, she then asked, "Who else do you know?" "Oh, yeah, my friend," because they all know people in similar circles. "She's got a space that she's been looking for something." "Great, let's get in touch with her and see what we can help her with." Not sell her to sell something to her, but help her with. And if you're helping people with their choices, it's a much easier, it sits better, especially with creatives.
Right. Those were incredible, incredible strategies there, and an incredible example. Now, let's shift gears to the
Hmm.
third topic, which is finance your art, cover cost while creating. All right, so Elle, let's pivot to this aspect. So many creatives struggle with financing. Could you explain the initial steps artists should take to manage their finances effectively?
Yeah, this was a big one for me personally. As I mentioned, I closed my digital business, and I had nearly 3 years break. And of course, after that time, my finances were totally depleted.
Mm.
So I decided to create my children's book series. But of course, I had no income. There's no income until they're written, published, and sold. So I
Mm-hmm.
needed something to sustain that because there are still costs. I still need to pay to get the website built. I needed to, you know, apparently we have to eat and have electricity and stuff. So there are always costs. So I actually set about finding a system that would allow me to uh, basically have an income that would
Mm-hmm.
provide time. So I could have gone and uh, got a real job, working 9 to 5, coming home exhausted, and all your creativity's, gone for the day. So I
Yes.
really was very, very specific about what I was looking for. And I came across a system that only takes 2 hours a day. I actually work it that I have a bigger time slot on a Monday, get everything set up for the week. So actually through the week, it's only about half an hour a day. It works brilliantly for me. So get that all over and done with over coffee in the morning, and then bang, I can get into my passion projects and anything else that I've got to do for the day. So having
Mm.
this system that's a complete training course, it's a step-by-step process that I could follow without needing to put any effort into thinking about what to do. And the rest of it's 95% automated. So once I've done my little bit, the system just takes over. I then, because I have that background, I have that marketing background,
Mm-hmm.
I've actually taken the system and enhanced it so that it will sell my books for me. So
Oh.
still only taking a couple of days, again, just taking the same process but tweaking it. Because I've got the experience to do that, I understand what needs to be changed, what needs to be tweaked. Um, I worked out that I can do that for mine. And I went, well, if I can do that for my creative, so number one, I'm generating an income that is sustainable while I create. But
Mhm.
two, I can enhance it so that it sells my books for me. Three, why don't I share that with other creatives? So, number one, they can get an income that allows them to be home and creating. And number two, it can take over and do the heavy selling for them.
That's interesting. I wonder what is that system?
You can see at the bottom there, easy as daily income. It is,
Oh,
look, it's hard to describe in a short little component, but it's a series of emails. We have text messaging about to be introduced to that, so it's ever expanding. It's a fully comprehensive, step-by-step training ground of what to do on all of the channels. So whether you want to do Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, or X as it is now,
mhm.
um, LinkedIn, wherever your focus needs to be. And that is, of course, depending on who your target market is.
Mhm.
Um, that's why you would select one over another. Pinterest is quite important for the creatives. So it actually outlines how to set it up, what to say, what to write, copy and paste, just literally, as you said, the money's in the follow-up. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this has got its follow-up. It's just copy and paste, just change a few words and off you go. The power of being on video is covered as well, but also what to say on those videos. And it's
Right.
designed to work with people who have no following at all. I've actually, I never used to, although I used to teach people to use them, I didn't use them a lot in my business. I didn't need to. I had people coming to me. I didn't have to go chasing them. And so I'd never done much with TikTok or YouTube or
Mhm.
X or Twitter. So I literally started just on those three channels
Mhm.
and proved that this works with a zero audience.
Oh, it does work.
Just targeting into exactly the key audience that we're looking for.
All right, that's interesting. Now, building on the initial question that I have, right now, what are some common financial pitfalls for artists, and how can they avoid them?
Yeah, bright, shiny objects. Um, I've got to have that, latest color. I've got to have the latest, or if you're working in digital, the latest tool. There are tools coming out left, right, and center. Getting caught up with, we just, this one, it's only $10 a month, or it's only $15 a month. And all of a sudden, you get 10 of those, there's $150 a month gone,
Mm.
bang. So that's, I guess, the biggest pitfall for not just creatives, pretty much anyone, is being mindful of not not falling for the system of whether you actually need it. If what you've got is doing what you need to do,
Mm-hmm.
then proceed with that. But if you're like me and you can't avoid it, just, I love my techie tools. I just, yeah, I ramp up my program and make it bring more money in rather than less.
Right. So, how can artists plan their finances to support both current projects and future growth, aside from what you've just shared?
Um, yeah, I'm probably not the right person to talk to about planning finances. I'm a shocker myself, which is why I need the income coming in. But it is important to ensure that you've got sufficient funds, obviously, to create the work to the level that you want to. Certainly, you might be a supreme artist, but if you're not able to afford the top quality art, art materials,
Mm-hmm.
your work could be substandard. If you're in digital and you're not um, tapping into the resources that can make it very seamless and high quality, it'll look second rate. So budgeting and thinking ahead of what you're going to need to achieve the result that you want is
Mm-hmm.
important. Writing down, look, I'm a great believer in keeping everything as simple as possible. So once you sort of know what it is, break it down, know when your high outlay months might be. You might have, special presentation or showing, say in September. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, July and August, when you're preparing your works for that showing, your expenses are naturally going to be higher. Maybe you take a break over Christmas and January, your outlays are going to be less. So being aware of your cash flow is important to that as well.
All right. That's amazing. Now, this is a fantastic live expert interview we have here. All right. Now, let's continue with the Q&A segment to follow up questions. So let me just play the segment title. All right. Let's start with the first question. So here we go. Now, for someone just starting out, what's one actionable tip you can give to begin attracting the right buyer today?
Smile. people, people are going to connect with people who smile. I mean, that's my biggest tip. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, making sure you are where your buyers are likely to be.
All right. Now, next question. All right, here we go. What's a small financial step I can take today to better manage my arts business finances?
Well, I have to say, come and take a look at easyasdailyincome.com, which is probably the best step you can take. But otherwise, decide whether, like, if you need to get an income and you're committed to only getting it from sales of your own work, consider whether maybe dropping a price on
Mm-hmm.
what, you might have something that's valued at $5,000, but while it's sitting in your display room, it's not making you any money. Is it worthwhile dropping that to get you some income to continue your creation? If you don't want to do that, then a separate income stream is probably the way to go, and find something that doesn't take much time but gives you a full income so that you can focus on your creative passions.
All right. Now, next question here is, how do you recommend handling rejection from potential buyers without getting discouraged?
Mm-hmm. Stop being scared of the word no. Here, we'll try it now. No. Didn't
Right.
hurt, did it? It's okay. Not everybody wants to buy your product. It's okay. There's plenty of love in the world. Most of them will want to, but those that don't, that's okay. It's not personal.
Right. And how would they respond to that and say, okay, no, I don't want to buy? Then what would you say?
Not a problem. Can I help you? What is it that you're looking for? Maybe I can guide you to one of my friends who does something similar, but a little bit more to your taste. What is it that you're looking for? Again, just trying to help them.
Right. Right. And in the first place, they won't be there if they're not interested, right?
That's exactly the point.
Okay, now last question. Here we go. What's the most cost-effective marketing tool that you believe every artist should use?
Easy as daily income, of course.
All right.
Look, but you can't go past the socials, and of course, my whole system encompasses the social networks that are right for you. We have this valuable tools online that are available now that they give to us for free.
Mm,
Make use of them. But I always caution, don't get upset if something doesn't work or isn't the way that you think it should be. Guess what? It's given to you for free. Like, appreciate what you've got and work within the bounds. The other thing every creative should be doing is writing articles for
mhm,
online and print, for those that still have print, um,
mhm,
publications, and
mhm,
getting the word out there, listing their website, because that actually helps the search engines send your buyers back to you.
mhm,
Unfortunately, if you only rely on social media, they have what's called a no follow rule. And that means you can mention your business as often as you want. It won't connect you through the search engines automatically back to your website. If they click on your link, yes, they'll get there. But what I'm talking about is not the people you can reach directly, but the rest of the world that the search engines have access to. You
mhm.
need to be outside of social media to reach those. So, writing articles for publications is a great way to do that, which is often a no cost.
Right.
But we tend to forget there's still television news. We here in Central Queensland, we actually have regional news, and they're looking for um, locals who are doing something. So talk to them. They want people who are local. Find out what's in your area. Go talk to them. They're not scary. They're real people. Just smile.
Yes, yes. All right. Now I find blogs, they say, helps a lot, right? In this search engine and this backlinking that they say.
Mhm. So the reason for that is, think of it like you go into a doctor's surgery and
Mhm,
the magazines are there, but they're the magazines from like a year ago. It's
mhm.
like they're tatty and torn. Imagine if you went into a newsagent and all the magazines there were a year old and they're all tatty and torn. You wouldn't want to buy them. Google's
Yeah.
the same. It doesn't want to send people to information that's a year old. So by blogging regularly, adding new information, and again, if the word blogging scares you, it's okay. It's just information about your art, about your process, about you,
Mhm.
that Google can send people through. So when they go, I want to know about how to write books about animals, especially Australian animals, I've just, put a blog post up on my website. Google goes, oh, this is good information. It matches what they're looking for. It's recent and current. She didn't put it up, a year ago or 2 years ago. It's just this week. It's fresh and new. I'm going to send them there. So Google uses that. So that's why blogs are so important.
Right. Interesting. All right.
Mhm.
Now we have some other questions, but in the interest of time, we'll wrap up our Q&A here. So thank you so much, Miss Elle Butler, for sharing your valuable insights with us. And now let's continue to our next segment. Here we
Thank you
go.
so much.
All right. All right, welcome back. Fantastic Fam Bams. One key takeaway today is the importance of authenticity in sales. Elle reminded us the true connection with our audience comes from being genuine and not pushy. We've also learned that sales don't have to feel like sales at all. It's all about genuine connections and solving real problems for people. All right. Now, as we move into the work with the expert segment, right? Elle, please
Mhm.
take a moment to share. Here we go. Take a moment to share how our audience can work with you to master these techniques.
Sure. Look, this it's very simple. Just head over to easy as daily income, all one word, all spelt correctly, .com. Down the bottom there, easyasdailyincome.com. If you pop your details in there, I will send you out some really cool resources that are not available anywhere else because I've created them. So there's lists of places that you can log on and share your posts for free. And this is not specifically for the US because I've been given, loads and loads of lists like that. And I get on there and I can't actually do anything with them because I'm in Australia. So I've
Mhm.
actually searched for ones that people outside the US and the UK can access. So that's number one. I've got some sales tips, 8 clear sales tips, and I think I've got. I don't know. I think there's another handout. I think there's 3 giveaways to if you just pop your information in that you'll be able to use there and then. And that
Mhm.
will also take you to all the details about how to invest in yourself and go through our comprehensive course for Easy as Daily Income. And that will include having me tailor and personalize the whole system for your artwork or your music or your um, book series. So that is all included in the top level. So there are 4 levels, so it's very affordable just to get into to begin with. It's $100 US to begin with. If you want the full, there are 3 other levels, 300, 600, 900. But you can have a look rather than me try and go through everything. Go on, have a look at the website. It's all there. If it's for you, great. If not, that's okay.
Right. This is a fantastic episode. And how else can they reach you aside from your website? Are you in
Oh,
social?
yeah, I am on socials. If you type in easy as daily income, pretty much any of the socials will find you there. I'm more active at the minute on TikTok, X, and YouTube. As I said,
Mm-hmm.
I started with a zero audience. I've just ticked over. Um, I just ticked over the 1,000 followers a
Ooh.
week or a couple of weeks ago. So that's on TikTok. I've got people, I keep getting messages. Someone's followed you on YouTube. I'm like, yep, doing the, I'm following the process, and that's just works. So it all just, you do the process, it just takes care of itself. It really does. So yes, you can definitely reach out there. Um, and of course, I'm in your Facebook group. So if you've got questions, you can reach out to me in there, and I'm happy to answer them if I can.
All right. Follow the process and believe the process.
That's it. Trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. Indeed. Okay, now we greatly appreciate your insights into this effortless selling for creatives. Thank you, Elle, for enriching us with your stories and
Thank you.
strategies. All right, so
Thank you so much. It's
all
been an
right,
absolute delight to be here.
I am also like grateful and honored that be here in my platform, to share your expertise with us right now.
My absolute pleasure. It's been fun. Great fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Elle Butler. Don't go away. To our viewers, thank you for watching, and we hope you found this session as enlightening as I did. I've got a lot of revelations with how you're gonna, say words that won't turn your buyers off, right? And then guide them to buy. from you. Remember, the key to growth is continual learning and adaptation. So the learning doesn't stop here. Okay, now for those of you who are watching, if you're motivated by what Miss Elle Butler shared and want to explore how you can work with her, reach your goal, and fulfill your bigger mission, don't forget to visit her website and connect with her. So the website is sticking down there. Okay, now coming up next, what is next in Talking Business with Ritz? Let me just share it here. So coming up next, we have our guest expert. We have our expert guest who will give us more insights on personal branding, finding your purpose, and sharing your message. Mark your calendar on June 15 at 11 a.m. EST. All right, and 8 a.m. What was that? 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Singapore, Perth in my side of the world. Okay, 9 a.m. Mountain and 10 a.m. Central. All right. So send me your questions in advance as well for the Q&A segment. All right. Here we go. Let me remove that. Here we go. So, all right, Pam Bam, if you find this helpful and entertaining, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more inspiring episode. Until next time, keep striving, keep thriving. This is Ritzel Loredo-Rectra and our expert guest, Miss Elle Butler. Stay safe and healthy as we continue talking business with Ritz.
Thanks, Ritz.